Well, here we are down here at the massacre tree. You can see here why I call it that. We kind of massacred it getting it down. That's because we both had dull saws and we still haven't figured out why. We sharpened them and they were dull. So we sharpened them again and they were dull. So I went and bought a new bar and chain, brand spanking new. If that doesn't do the job, then I don't know what's wrong. Today's plan is to measure, mark, and cut this into saw logs. So that's what we're about to do. Okay, we've got our lengths figured out. We got some little braces underneath here. You'll see we got some here underneath where we're going to cut. We got it marked right here. That's at the 10 foot 6 inches. And we put a brace on both sides so that when it falls, as you can see, there's plenty of light coming through. When it falls, it'll still be up off the ground. We can easily get a chain around it to drag it out of here. We did the same thing here on this one. Now here's our cut, and we put that way over there and this over here, but there's a reason. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a small tree here that got driven in the ground when this thing fell. Here's the other side of it. It just got driven into the ground. I'm not sure where the rest of that tree is at, to be honest with you. Anyway, we got that one braced up off the ground so that we can still get a chain around that one. This one's going to be the trick, because when you get up here, as you can easily see, there's our next saw cut, and there's no daylight underneath. But we have a secret weapon. Now, me and Randy both really enjoy watching, what is it, Wilson's Country, or what is it called?
Wilson's Woodlands, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, he has the Woodamizer sawmill, lives out on the West Coast and cuts some monster trees. And he just takes one of these. He's a smaller guy like Randy. He takes one of those things and rolls a 4-foot tree wherever he wants it to go. So I have faith that Randy will just roll this around wherever he wants to put it after we get it cut. Right?
Right.
So here we go. We're going to fire up the saw and we're going to get it going.
And you cut from the other side, and you cut from this side.
I'm going to start and cut part of the way from the top and then finish it up from the bottom because it's going to fall down. Why didn't we start on the other end? Well, because Randy said not to. No, really, there's no pros and cons are pretty much equal on whether you start on the heavy end or the skinny end. Normally I'm cutting firewood, I start on the small end and work my way up, just because it's easier when you're doing firewood. But saw logs, this is a monster log no matter when you cut it. Brand new chain, brand new bar. It should cut nice. Wow, is that different? Pretty sure we're through. There it goes. That's one. I didn't think it would roll. It's stuck up against the stump. So. And it's nice to have a sharp saw. Maybe I'll let Randy use it on the next one just so he knows what a sharp saw feels like. Neither one of us had a decent saw the other day. Oh man, did it take forever. went easy enough. We got one more or two?
Now one cut here, right there. But I think we should cut that little stump out so we can roll it one way or the other if we have to. That's your choice.
You don't want to cut this one?
I'll cut it. You want to roll it? Well, let's get this out of the way first.
I'm not cutting that. I'm not cutting that with my nice brand new chain. I'll hit another rock.
Cut it halfway through, and then we'll roll it.
I'm not cutting that with my new saw. I have enough dull saws. I'm going to try to keep that one sharp. I've tried and tried. I sharpened this 10 or 12 times on each side. And it's good and sharp, but it doesn't cut straight. Yeah, that saw's nice and sharp.
Yeah.
If you're going to roll it, I'll take the camera. That saw's nice and sharp. Problem is, it's not equally sharp. It doesn't cut straight. I don't know if you're going to get it to go that way. You got two trees right there.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it to go up either.
Maybe if you go down there and roll it uphill over there, you might only be able to roll one side of it anyway. It's definitely not attached down there.
Nope.
It's just the weight holding it. Well, let's switch. You take the camera and let the big guy pull on it. I have a little more weight advantage than you do. A couple pounds anyway.
You got more lead wear?
Yeah. Starts to come, but this needs to be moved. There we go. I don't want it to come loose on me. It's a big piece of wood.
Yeah.
And it just gets to a certain spot and hits this other log and stops.
Okay. Well, let's use our brain and not our brawn. Well, we were able to roll the second one very easily with the cant hook. Now we're going to try and roll this one again.
Well, it was getting hung up on that one. You could see where I missed my cut by about a half an inch there. And it would hit that, and then we were trying to roll all three.
But man, look at that log. Isn't that a pretty log?
That is a pretty piece of
wood.
wood. Look at the other one down there.
Man. Yeah, these are wonderful looking logs. These will definitely look good on the mill. Yes, sir. Here we go.
that ain't working.
Let's try another 150 pounds.
No, then you can't videotape.
Well, I'm working that together.
There we go.
See, my little 150 pounds is enough. I'll hold this down, and you can finish cutting. You're making your cut.
Works better if you turn the saw on.
There he goes, the Paul Bunyan of the woods.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably weigh as much as he does.
So, we've got 3 10.5-foot lengths out of this log. And this last one will wind up being a 9-footer, but we'll probably wind up cutting it down to 10. Or firewood.
Who knows? Never know, we might have a use for some 8-foot pieces or something. Let's get a measurement on the across the butt of that first one. As we know, it was 24 inches on the far end, but as you can see here in the video, there's kind of a hoopy right at the end. You go up a foot or so, and we measured it, and it came out about 20 inches. So we got 20 inches on the big end,
and we've got 12 inches of good wood.
What's the total? I didn't see the total all the way from one side to the other. That's about 16 inches, give or take.
12 inches of good wood on the top.
Yeah, since this was standing dead since last year, that outer ring is unusable. Make good firewood, though.
Notice these rings here.
Not great firewood, but good firewood.
Look at how this ring is so much faster growing.
They must have had a good year.
Right there.
Looks like they had a few good years there.
Yeah, because these look like
1, 2, 8 or 10 good years there.
Mm-hmm.
You can clearly see they had 8 or 10 good years there. In the last few years, it's slowed down considerable. It is a pretty piece of wood. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now if old Mr. Terraplane here can take it up the hill to the house, that's the question. Because that's a Quaker lift. The lift costs more. A used Quaker 160 costs more than what I paid for this whole tractor. So I think I did well. I'm assuming the 160 means it can lift 1,600 pounds. I do not know that. I could look it up, I guess. I do have Google. But anyway, let's work on... Well, before we can mess too much with these, we need to go gather the rest of our firewood back there. So let's go do that. So I guess that's goodbye for this video. We got this big log that we cut down last week cut up in the sections. I'm planning on building a deck with it. I figure white oak will last longer than treated pine. I might be wrong about that, but I figure if I make full 1.5-inch boards for the top and 2.5-inch by 6-inch boards for the underneath support boards, that ought to last a while. Gonna have to sand it though. Thanks for watching. Give us one of these if you haven't yet. We really appreciate those.
And your comments.
And
really appreciate
leave us some comments. Let us know what you think about building a deck out of white oak as opposed to treated pine. We really like hearing comments. Thanks again. That ain't good. Gonna turn this hill into a washout. not good. Well, we're dragging the first piece up out of here, but I don't like the way this is going. We got to come up with a better idea. This whole trail could turn into a washout in the next big rain. This big in a trench. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Trail's been here for years and never has washed out. The main hill goes sideways, but this trail still goes up and down. I'm afraid ripping it up like that is going to cause it to wash out. I'm going to have to come down and make some side gutters. Bring a shovel or a hoe or something, maybe a mattock. That way the water can run off the sides instead of down the hill. That is not good. I do not like it. If anybody has an idea that might work better than dragging it on the ground, it won't cost $1,000. Believe it or not, they put a couple wheels on an A-frame and charge $1,000 for it. A wood arch, they call them. Randy's telling me to whoa, but I ain't sure why. Now it's in my way. Let's go see if we can't kick it off the trail and call it a day. It's about to get dark on it.